Yo, what's up, guys? AJ here. Today we're going to talk about the butt. So, the butt is a really important muscle because it's going to help you basically produce power throughout your body and transfer the power and force from your lower body to your upper body to be able to execute all these different moves that we want to do in the gym. So, whether, we're kicking a heavy bag and doing Muay Thai, or if we're lifting weights and doing deadlifts, kettlebell swings, and squats, or if we're playing football or basketball, whatever we may be doing in life, we always want to have a balance with our core. And our core includes our butt, and our core includes our glutes. So when people talk about the core, they think about the rectus abdominis, they think about the abs, the six pack. And yes, the six pack is great to look at, but the six pack is not a very functional muscle in and of itself. It has to be utilized in the package of the total core, which includes the hips, your butt, the rectus abdominis, the obliques, and the lower back. So it's one big unit that's utilized all together in totality. So when you do a swing, for instance, a kettlebell swing, you're not just using one muscle, you're using the entire musculature of the core, which makes the exercise that much better. So back to the butt. A lot of people sit on their ass all day, so they have a flat ass, or they don't do deadlifts, so they have a flat ass. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So one of the best ways to reactivate your butt and your glutes is to stretch the hip flexors and stretch the quads. Now, what is this doing? Well, it's basically moving your quad out of the way so you can extend the hip forward. You can move your hip forward now. You could squeeze your butt. Most people, if you cue them to squeeze their butt, they can't do it, right? Many people can't do it. And why? Because their hip flexors and their quads are so tight from sitting and full inactivity. So you have to stretch the quads, you have to stretch the hip flexors to be able to use the glutes, to actually turn them on, to be able to do things like deadlifts and squats, etc. So first things first, stretch your hip flexors. Tons of hip flexor stretches that you can do. You can do PNF stretching, isometric stretching. You can do passive stretching. You can do dynamic stretching. Maybe I'll make some videos on that. I'll do some demonstrations. Quad stretches. There's some really powerful quad stretches that you can do on a bench against a wall. Really painful, but really, really good for your posture and for your ability to extend the hip and use the glutes. And then once you get that going, once you get your hip flexors and your quads flexible enough to use your glutes, you want to practice some bridging. And there's a million different ways to do bridging and different bridging exercises. You can do two legs, you can do one leg. There's a million different variations of each, but you want to bridge, you want to utilize your glutes to activate them. So we're first stretching the muscles to be able to utilize them. Then we're activating the muscles with the glute bridge. And then finally, we want to strengthen them with, a kettlebell deadlift, a kettlebell swing, a barbell deadlift, something with weight so we can really emphasize strength. Or we can do weighted glute bridges. There's many different ways to cut it. So the primary focus, though, is to be able to turn your glutes on, number one, and then do the glute bridges, number two. Adding strength on top of that, that's the easy part. That's easy. But if you can't activate it and can't use them in the first place, they're not going to do you a hell of a lot of good. So that's it, guys. Get your butt working. Grow your butt. It's going to help your posture. It's going to help your athleticism. It's going to make you stronger and faster. It's going to make you look great. Okay? I'll see you guys soon. Peace.